And it always feels good to me every Sunday morning being with you here on the Real Estate Revealed radio show. Happy Sunday morning, everybody. Another hot one in the Chicagoland area. I'm Randy Barcella, your show host, and you are listening to the Real Estate Revealed radio show. Enjoyed every Sunday morning, 8 to 9 a.m. And in studio, hey, if you ask yourself in the last 3 to 6 months, what's happening in Chicago commercial real estate? Wow. Well, we've got the premier commercial realtor, the managing broker owner of the Trillium Group. Yeah, Teresa Mueller. Good morning, Teresa.
Good morning, Randy. Thank you very much. Remember long time ago, pre-pandemic time, I had a discussion on the economic outlook in the Chicagoland area. You remember that?
I do. I was here.
And what were some of those economic drivers? Do you remember?
Growth,
sort of, yeah. What else would drive the sales and commercial demand, right? But what? Any other specific examples?
Well, I think a lot of it was restaurant and retail, right?
Okay.
The R's, right?
The F's. Well, we'll come back to that too. So one of the things, and these we had talked about tax assessments in Cook County. We talked about demographics, and we talked about employment, and so those were the drivers that we were expecting for commercial real estate this year. And right now, I'm sure people listen to the news. They hear that the economic numbers or the unemployment numbers are pretty high in Chicago, comparable to California and New York. So really now the big driver is COVID, right? And so how is that impacting our different asset classes? I'm not even going to touch on capital markets because that's so weird, right? How the stock market is responding differently than the economy. But I am going to talk about the different asset classes. And of course, I have to say something on the residential side. It's going bananas now, right? And what do you see there?
As an appraiser, I'm seeing more volume than ever before. There's multiple offers and
Yes.
people are buying houses way over list price.
Right. And so one of the things you're seeing, especially in that low to mid-range pricing, you have low interest rates.
Yeah, around 250,000 sales price to 350.
And we have lack of inventory. So it's gone bananas on the residential side. Now, that somewhat segues into the multifamily because people have to live somewhere, right? So multifamily is an asset class for commercial real estate. And what we're seeing is we do see some increase in vacancy and certainly in the luxury market, but people are looking in the multifamily. They are still moving within the multifamily asset class, especially bigger units, right? We had this work from home. Everyone wants a little bit more space. And surprisingly, people are still paying their rents. So the government stimulus has helped in that capacity that we still are seeing rent recovery at this time. And then, yes?
I was going to say, they are right now, but I'm curious how long that will last now that the kicker's gone for the unemployment if the new kicker doesn't come out.
Right.
This is Brad Heddick.
So a lot hinges on that, right?
Worried about that.
And so right now you don't see a lot of sales in the multifamily. I mean, we expect long term for it to do great, but there could be an immediate hiccup depending on what our government decides to do going forth. And then also one big migration thing that it should take into account. People are saying, okay, everyone loves urbanization, but right now the data is showing that there is migration from the city to the suburbs because people need more space. They may need 2 offices to work out of, work at home, etc. Right? Moving on to the next asset classes, office. Not even going to touch that. Work at home, that's not a happy story. Same thing with retail. Who remembers the 5 Fs?
What was food?
Yeah, food was one of them.
It was something related to entertainment, right?
Right. Yes. Fun. Furniture, fashion. So you got food, fun, fashion, furniture. What did I miss? But in all those cases, we're unfortunately seeing a lot of people filing for Chapter 11 right now. I mean, look at the furniture stores. That was a big one coming into retail. And so you see Art Van, they're closing stores, filing. So what you're going to see is a change in that retail space. Of course, the restaurants were down as well, but they're starting to pick up again, and you have to see a change in space. People are doing outside, curbside. I would invest in outside heaters if I were you for the next few months as this heat wave passes, because people are going out to restaurants. So it's good to see some of the recovery in the restaurant scene. But we are going to have to see again some of that repurposing of space for things that have closed down. In terms of hotel. Did I touch on hotel? Office space. Yes, that's not good, but hotel also, that's another one that's hurting in Chicago. I mean, that's where we saw the employment numbers before, was a lot in the hotel and leisure.
And if you're just tuning in, you're listening to the Real Estate Revealed radio show, enjoyed every Sunday morning, 8 to 9 a.m. here on AM 560 The Answer. I'm Randy Barcella, your show host. And in studio is the president of Commercial Lending X, Brad Heddick, and now Teresa Mueller. She's the managing broker owner of the Trillium Group, and she's just going over some valuable information on what's going on in commercial real estate in the Chicagoland area.
Yeah, so I was touching on the various asset classes and just a little bit on the hotel scene. That was an asset class that we expected to do a little bit better with a lot more travel. But right now, with travel down and, all us not having conventions and the events closed, we're not seeing as much activity on the hotel scene. They're definitely an asset class that's hurting, and I would expect to see quite a few hotels close over the next year or so. So which one's also going gangbusters? What asset class is like hot right now?
Construction. You can't get lumber for 3 months at any lumber yard. People are trying to build decks, build additions on their home. Another thing, you cannot buy a bicycle anywhere. They're all gone because the health clubs are closed.
Yeah, so definitely in that employment sector, it's doing better. And related to that is industrial. So if you had to say what...
Really?
Yeah, so what are the top 6 companies that have been accounting for a third of all retail over in Q2?
Retail or industrial?
All retail. Who are the top companies? Like who are selling?
Healthcare?
Who's selling right now?
Oh, big box.
Name one.
Well, I mean, JCPenney or the owners of JCPenney.
The biggest,
Sears.
the top 6 that are selling everything that we buy right now. Costco is one of them, absolutely. Amazon, Walmart, Target, and then...
I've never used Amazon more in my life until the last 6 months. Almost everything in my house, I order it. From coffee to things I need for the house, it's there in 2 days.
And just like you said, construction, Home Depot, Lowe's, they're selling gangbusters as well. And of course, you have a lot of people at home who have time to do projects that wouldn't have been home otherwise. So warehouse is absolutely going gangbusters because they need the space, they need the distribution. And
now I know I have you on the show, Teresa. You know everything.
Savant, right? So in Chicagoland, we are keeping pace with almost every other major metropolitan area in terms of warehouse going forward. Now, one thing is going forward, if we're going to look at what the trends are across the board, certainly we're going to see that cash is king, that we are going to see repurposing of space. Some of the sales volumes are going to be down, but if you have cash, you can expect that there are probably going to be some bargains in the next year or two as some of these places are closing down. In my experience right now with some of my clients is money's a little tight. So it's really important to call someone like Brad ahead of time, whether you have cash or not, to contact him to say, hey, what are my financing options if something comes available that makes sense for my portfolio? And right now I'm also helping clients short-term lease their space if it is vacant. So what do I always say at the end of my segment, Randy?
Why worry? It doesn't accomplish anything.
Totally, right? Worrying is not useful. This too shall pass. And be thankful for what we have. Look for these opportunities, right?
I want to work for you. I want to buy from you. Oh my God. Between you and Brad, I'm buying every commercial, industrial space right now. But Teresa Mueller, how can somebody get a hold of you?
They can contact me anytime. They can reach me at 630-715-9999. That's 630-715-9999, or my webpage at Trillium.com.
Thank you, Teresa Mueller.
Thank you.
All right, Deb, cut there.